Fabian Kuya with ELBC Newsline. Today is Tuesday, January 22, 2026, and these are our top stories. International Monetary Fund confirms Liberia's economic grew by 5.1% in 2025. Government of Liberia boasts of creating 70,000 short and medium-term jobs for Liberians. Former National Security Agency employee Peter Bonjala stands trial at criminal court Eve for allegedly raping a 16-year-old boy and away from Liberia. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu is in great shape after falling over at a reception ceremony in Turkey. These stories and much more, including sports, the weather report, the news in Liberian English and French. But first, Pastor Talu and the news bulletin.
The International Monetary Fund has confirmed that Liberia's economy grew by 5.1% in 2025. On Monday, President Boakai announced that growth in the Liberian economy grew by 5.1%, exceeding both the 4.6% forecast and the 4.0% growth recorded in 2024. The achievement, President Boakai said, was driven by significant gains in mining, agriculture, fisheries, and services. In a statement released Tuesday, the IMF noted that Liberia's economic and financial reforms continue to progress and show favorable macroeconomic outcomes. According to the IMF, inflation declined broadly, averaging 4.4% in the fourth quarter of 2025 compared to 12.5% in the first quarter. It said the exchange rate remains stable, with some seasonal appreciation observed in late 2025. The International Monetary Fund also confirmed Liberia's fiscal performance has strengthened, with the estimated primary fiscal surplus, excluding grants, improving from 1.3% of GDP in 2024 to 1.4% in 2025. Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund is recommending steadfast reform implementation to consolidate macroeconomic stability, reduce debt vulnerability, and strengthen the banking sector. It said continued prudent fiscal policies supported by enhanced domestic revenue mobilization and public financial management are critical for creating fiscal space for development priorities. The IMF urged government to strengthen monetary policy effectively to safeguard price stability. It stressed the need for government to take decisive efforts to reinforce the regulatory framework and swiftly implement banking sector measures for preserving financial sector stability. The IMF fund also confirmed that a staff-level agreement was reached based on Liberia's request for access to the Resilience and Sustainability Facility under the RSF long-term vulnerability. The climate-related shocks are addressed and pandemic preparedness enhanced. The government has disclosed that it created 70,000 short and medium-term jobs. According to government, the jobs were created across several sectors, including infrastructure, agriculture, social protection, and small businesses, among others. The disclosure was made by President Joseph Boakai during his annual message to members of the legislature on Monday.
Commission strategy focus on addressing banking and structural constraints, including investment in roads.
President Boakai said the Youth Entrepreneurship and Investment Bank project launched in 2025 is expected to support 30,000 youth-led businesses, creating over 120,000 direct and indirect jobs for youth. The Liberian leader also announced that a national employment acceleration strategy focused on agriculture, public works, skills training to support small enterprises is being finalized to increase job creation and collect employment data. At the same time, government has defended this claim of creating about 70,000 jobs over a 2-year period, describing the figure as an estimate supported by data from multiple ministries, agencies, and private sector partners. Information Minister Jeremy Mapia argued that public criticism over the employment numbers is unwarranted, noting that much larger just figures have previously been accepted without debate. Minister Pia emphasized that in a country with a population of approximately 5 million people, the creation of 70,000 jobs should be viewed within a realistic and measurable context. According to him, the Youth and Sports Ministry and the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment LACE jointly targeted the creation of 54,000 jobs and succeeded in generating 52,864 jobs. He said of that number, 19,198 positions were filled by males and 33,810 by females, media through livelihood support, agriculture, labor-intensive public works, and small business development programs. Meanwhile, President Joseph Boakai has commended Vice President Jeremiah Poon, chair of the Special Presidential Aid Committee for Press Civilization. President Boakai said the committee's work over the months have led to reduction in the prices of basic commodities on the market. The Liberian leader stated that prices have eased for rice, flour, and fuel, thus bringing relief for families. Delivering his third annual message to members of the 55th Legislature on Monday, President Boakai promised to hold businesses that are found exploiting consumers accountable.
Commend the Vice President and the Price Committee for acting to prevent unjustified price increases that harm our people. Let me declare, business that exploits consumers will be held accountable.
According to the president, a 25 kg bag of Indian parboiled rice is sold at $14.50, while the price of flour has dropped to $35 per bag. The former National Security Agency employee Peter Bonjala, who allegedly sodomized a 16-year-old boy several times, is expected to appear at Criminal Court E on Wednesday. Mr. Jala has since been captivated at the Monrovia Central Prison. Prior to his detention, his lawyer, Counsel Wilfred Sire, filed a petition for a writ of habeas corpus before Criminal Court C on January 9, 2026. Police in Monrovia on January 10 this year charged and forwarded to Court Jala 60 on charges of gang rape, statutory rape, and kidnapping. Defendant Jala allegedly committed the act on November 30, December 2025, and January 1 and 3, 2026. The Office of the Chief Justice has clarified that at no time they didn't collect funds as been speculating on social media. In a statement issued and signed Tuesday by the Chief of Office Staff, Anthony Edwina Vacuum, disclosed that individuals created a WhatsApp account using Chief Justice Nyame Gbese to scam people. The statement further said that the perpetrator used a fake profile to contact several prominent Liberians who met abroad on a false pretense. The Chief Justice, Anthony Vacuum, stated does not use any Lone Star or MTM number for visual or personal communication. Justice Minister and Attorney General of Liberia, Councillor Oswald Tue, has met with FBI Transnational Anti-Corruption Partnership Advisor Christian Scale. The meeting focused on strengthening cooperation in combating corruption and transnational crime while enhancing investigative capacity and institutional collaboration. According to a Justice Ministry release, during the meeting, Minister Tua reaffirmed Liberia's commitment to transparency, accountability, and the rule of law, stressing the importance of international partnerships. For his part, FBI TAB Advisor Christian Hill praised the ministry's leadership and reaffirmed the FBI's readiness to support Liberia through capacity building and strategic cooperation. The Press Union of Liberia will tomorrow relaunch the National Media Council, a significant step towards strengthening media integrity and accountability in Liberia. The council is a multi-stakeholder body mandated to enforce the code of conduct for journalists and media institutions in the country. The relaunch of the council, according to a release, reflects a renewed commitment to professional standards, public trust, and press freedom in Liberia's media landscape. It comprises 9 members from the media community, civil society organizations, government, academia, women's organizations, and religious institutions. The former Media Complaints Committee and the Grievance and Ethics Committee will now serve as a forum for adjudicating complaints related to the work and conduct of journalists and media institutions. Workers at the Monrovia Breweries Company have resumed normal work activities following intervention by Labour Minister Castor Kopokura into their strike action. Management of the company and the Labour Ministry have resolved to mitigate ongoing industrial unrest at the company. Recently, workers at the company went on strike, accusing the management of unfair labor practices, changes of their new collective bargaining agreement, and demanding the dismissal of the human resource manager, Brown Wisse. However, Minister Kura ordered the company not to dismiss any worker and mandated Mr. Wisse to immediately resume work while negotiations are ongoing to resolve the issue. In this post, that a station is expected to resume on Thursday, January 29, at the ministry to formally address all outstanding issues related to the crisis. The Health Ministry has presented advanced endoscope and video colposcopy systems to the John F. Kennedy and Redemption hospitals to strengthen diagnostic and maternal health services across Liberia. Endoscopy is a process that involves using a lighted tube with a camera to examine internal body structures, while video colposcopy is a procedure that uses a specialized camera system to provide a higher view of the female organ on a digital screen. Speaking Tuesday, Health Minister Louis Boto said limited access to modern diagnostic tools has long constrained specialized healthcare delivery, particularly in women's reproductive health. Dr. Boto noted that the machines will significantly support cervical cancer screening programs, while the endoscope systems will enhance internal diagnostic capacity at the two public referral hospitals. In separate remarks, the administrators of both GFK and Redemption hospitals commended the government for the initiative, describing critical to improving service delivery at their respective institutions. NEMO Partners for Democratic Development has described President Joseph Boakai's annual message as a comprehensive outline of government's reform priorities. NEMO says the address presents a coherent policy direction with emphasis on macroeconomic stability, domestic revenue mobilization, infrastructure development, governance, and anti-corruption reforms, among others. In a release, NEMO also acknowledged variable progress in areas such as domestic revenue growth, improved audit compliance, reaching 37%, strengthened payroll integrity, and expanded service coverage across sectors.
Pastor Talu and the news bulletin, one of the